Hey Barney's Musos, we're working at memorising tunes so that we might free up our mind to be focused beyond the music to the real content of relating to God and leading His people as we sing and lead them. And one of the ways to do that is to memorise the tunes so that we've got more of our head space free to focus in that direction. This is a breakdown of All I Have Is Christ so that we can digest and internalise the chord changes and the form of the song as quickly as we can. So what we go through is we change these into numbers, realise that the verse, and simplify the chart in particular, because I think if it looks clear and simple, then it's easier to memorise. The way that they generally write it out here, you can see, is got 3 bars a line, and then these have 4 bars a line each, except it's 5 here. These kind of things don't help us, especially when the music feels like it moves in groups of 4 or 8 bars. So we're in the key of C, no sharps or flats. It's in 3/4. That's helpful. And it starts, interestingly enough, the verse on the 5 chord. Then it goes to the 6 minor, then the 4, then the 1 or the 6 minor. This is interesting. I think I think it is the first couple of verses is 6 minor, and then the third one is major. I think it just generally reflects the vibe of the lyric. Here, in the first verse, the content says, I once was lost in darkest night, I thought I knew the way. A minor feels like it fits the vibe of that more than a C major. The sin that promised joy in life. Yeah. Second verse, but as I ran my hellbound race, indifferent to the cost. Again, it's talking about the darker side of our history before it returns in third to talk about what Jesus has done and saving us. Now, Lord, I would be yours alone and live so all might see. It's not a big thing, major or minor there, but it just, I think, is a change to help reflect the more positive aspect of all the content that is being sung about there. Anyway, so here it will be 6 minor, and I'm going to put a little bracket in there for 1 for the other time. D minor, that's the 2 minor. F is 4, G is 5, and C is 1. See how it, so C is 1. This helps just putting it all on in sections. It feels like that's a half a verse. If you're just running off this too, a little tip, I'd put a double bar line there so you can kind of tell where halfway is. That's going to make a difference to the arrangement and also help you not get lost, I think. Moves to the second section, 1 on 3, C over E, to 4, to the 2 minor, to the 6 minor, 1 on 3, to the 4. Now we've got a first time bar, 6 minor and 5. The turnaround, the lyric finishes here on what would be bar 8 of this second half, but that becomes the first bar of the 4 bar turnaround. So what I'm actually going to do here is talk about first time bar there. But I'm just going to ditch that, and I'm going to write the turnaround here. That says turn. I'm going to write 5, 6 minor, goes to quick 1 on 3, before goes to 4, and back to 1. That repeats back to here. Okay, the reason we'll see that is this is still 1. The second time bar is here. This is only 3 bars long, so I'm going to put, second time bar here, and it's third time bar, by the way. And that's going to be 6 minor, 5 sus to 5. Whole bar of 5 sus before it goes to 5. And then on beat 3, it's back to 1. And there's a double bar line there. I'm going to get rid of that as well, cross that out, that's not happening. And then we're into the chorus here. That just helps me really clearly see how to organize it in my head. I've got kind of lose a bar of what feels like my 8-bar section, and then I got a 4-bar turnaround. Note that 4-bar turnaround is fairly similar to that first 4 bars there, especially if you're thinking the 1 for the third verse. Then we're into the chorus. The chorus is on page 2, so let me just grab that up there. It goes 4, 1, 5, 6 minor, 4, 6 minor, 5, 1. Now an extra bar there before it goes back. Bit hard to tell the ones from the bar lines, isn't it? Okay, this really helps us to see that there's just an extra bar there that helps set it up at the end of the chorus. These choruses are often repeated in the way we do it. It's only just written out once here. So you just want to also keep that in mind, that it might be a second chorus. This kind of gives us, if it was a double chorus, that bar wouldn't be there. It would just be repeating around there. Jesus is my life, hallelujah. Just straight in like that. So that you got it laid out there. It's going to help you understand the sections much more clearly than having this jumbled thing that they just put on where it's just the computer threw the chords down. And by cutting off, here you can see this comes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bars there. That's going to help you just not get lost with the band and have quicker internalization of everything. If in all these things you're finding memorizing all of this is too much, you can start with just a chorus. And in particular, this chorus is kind of interesting because it just is a great example of just using those 4 chords that are in every song, the 1, the 6, the 4, the 5, and the 6 minor. And it's very typical to go to the 4 chord to start a chorus. So we've got 4, 1, 5, 6 minor. We know we're probably most of the time going to head back towards a 1, and usually it's a 5 that will lead into a 1. So how are they going to do? They can't just repeat exactly the same thing. They recycle back here. 4 starts off the sort of same way, which is very common in an 8-bar kind of progression, or chorusy kind of a progression. 1 and 6 minor are very closely related, but it adds a little bit of variation rather than just have a 1 there. And you've got 5, 1 to take you back. The reason I say that, you can see that they've just switched the 6 minors and the 1s in those spots. Here it doesn't feel like it's resolved at the end of 4 bars and it's keeping moving. And here it does feel like it's resolved. And that's the thing I'd like you to also, if you just say concentrating on the chorus or even the whole thing, just be aware of, as you play those chords, what that feels like, what the emotional kind of, be aware of what a 4 chord to a 1 chord feels like in terms of tension and release. The 5 chord, that is always going to feel like it's not where you want to stop. It's always going to go, so it wants to go somewhere. The 1 chord feels like it's coming home and stopping. The 4 chord feels like it's moved away from 1. We always come from that 1 there into the chorus. The 6 minor, again, feels obviously darker. It's the minor sound. And it has some sense of, in some contexts, of resolution, but it feels like a darker version of the 1 to me anyway. And just to try and work it out for yourself how that feels every time you move through those chords, so that as the point being, you can start to hear these chords without needing a chart. They've got a distinct flavour, the 4, the 1, the 5 and the 6 minor, and as they're used so commonly, you can start to build a repertoire of being able to just sense where it's going and hear the chord progression 1 time, 2 times through, and you go, oh yeah, I know what's going on with that. Hope that's helpful. Cheers.